Hello, I'm Rafael Renteria, and today I'm here to talk about insurance documentation. Especially with what just happened in Dayton this week, I think this is a good time to bring this up. So, GeoCV and 3D modeling have a lot of uses in real estate, construction, and business, but what's coming into the light more and more is using it for documentation for insurance claims. I watched this video from Dan Smigrod, founder of the WGAN network, and he talked to some guys that were using 3D capture to document a water damage claim. They had some interesting things to say about how they use 3D capture for insurance. So everything that 3D companies advertise as perks for realtors have just as much value to insurance providers, landlords, and anyone else who needs to document some sort of property damage. Like the walkthrough and the screen grabs from the tour and the 3D dollhouse view, all of those are part of the best visual storytelling tool if a case goes to court. It does what pictures can't by giving the unique perspective of actually being at the site, seeing exactly what the evaluators saw. There's another video of a guy who was actually one of the first people to use 3D capture for insurance claims, and I think he put it best. Instead of taking 5,000 pictures and only using maybe 20 in the case, take 500 pictures that actually matter and that will give the people involved in the case a true understanding of the space and what happened there. If you're looking at the fire damage that wrecked an entire room in a house, what's really going to show the extent of the damage? A regular picture, 2D picture with a very limited field of view, or a navigable spot inside of a 3D model that puts you right in the action. It also does a good job of preserving the damage. So in case the evaluator missed something, they can go back in the model and look at the site exactly how it was when they got there. And the owner has time to clean up and fix stuff if they need to get it done quickly. This all-access preservation also brings up the point that insurance evaluators can work from anywhere. If you've got a new evaluator and this is their first time in the field solo, they're probably going to miss something, but with this 24/7 accurate access, you can let the best and the most experienced evaluators check out the space and fill the holes. This makes the evaluation process efficient and in the best hands the firm can provide. So the guys in the first video I mentioned actually used 3D capture for this purpose in New Orleans for over 200 clients with flood insurance when a hurricane hit. So there we're not just talking about one room in a house catches on fire, we're talking about a natural disaster that can affect hundreds or thousands of homes. Not all of those 200 claims they handled went to court, but a lot of them did. So having the 3D model there sped up the process and provided the most accurate visuals of the damage, short of the people in the court actually being there. When I first started considering 3D capture for insurance documentation, I thought about landlords and how they would have proof if something was done by a tenant and was not already there like some people do. Like just this winter when I was painting, we had a few things to do in a house we were at, and one of the big things was patching some big holes in the drywall about that big. And the landlord told us the tenants don't know how it happened, but they didn't cause a problem because they still paid for the damage and everything, so in the end they just didn't fully own up to it. But at least nothing bad came of that. But what if there was damage that tenants could make an argument like that and possibly leave you as a landlord high and dry? If you got a complete 3D scan of the unit, they got nothing. You'll have a complete and high quality documentation of the apartment or the house, and if tenants want to see if they can screw you, they can't. You're protected. But landlords aren't the only people 3D capture helps. After what happened in Dayton this week, I was reminded of how much more important 3D scans can be to just regular people who need protection. Earlier this week, in Dayton, Ohio, just south of me, got hit by some bad tornadoes. There are going to be a lot of insurance claims, and for the reasons I stated previously, 3D capture can be really helpful in speeding up the process of getting some of these people the help that they need. But sometimes a disaster can affect more than just one family or a community. What if it affects people worldwide? Like back in April when the Notre Cathedral caught on fire, 3D scans weren't even a thought in my mind. And I'm in the virtual tour industry, but like everybody else in the world, I was just shocked it was happening. But then I got an email from the We Get Around Network forum, and Dan Smigrod, the guy I mentioned earlier, had shared something titled Horrific Fire That Engulfed Notre Dame Cathedral, Why What We Do Matters. And he went over how important the 3D scans are to historical sites. And when I read that, I was like, okay, yeah, it'd be nice to make sure we have a preserved image of the important spaces in case something happens like that. But then I kept reading what he wrote, and the practical uses of the 3D capture for historical sites became more clear. You can actually use these scans to rebuild and remodel if something happens to them. He brought up that some of these older buildings don't have as-built drawings and having a 3D scan of the space with accurate details might be the best hope of accurately rebuilding a destroyed space. Imagine trying to rebuild something based off of 2D pictures. 3D makes this whole thing a lot easier. I know plenty of historical spaces are getting 360 tours and 3D models, but I don't think it's happening enough everywhere fast enough. We got to get moving before the next thing happens. So this is why what we as virtual tour producers do matters. We aren't limited to just helping real estate agents sell more listings. We aren't limited to helping entrepreneurs get more business, and we aren't limited to helping construction companies. We have the power to preserve historical sites. And we can give any structure in the world an infinite life and allow anyone to see it who may not have the chance to see it otherwise. This whole business is about helping someone, and I think 3D mixed with insurance is going to be the most impactful use to do that. That's all I got for today. I really appreciate you guys watching. I'll ask you to please share this with somebody in insurance or property management. They might find something useful. Have a wonderful day. Peace.